Just imagine this, you have scored well in an exam, you have tallied your marks with the answer key and you are passed with flying colors. It's just that the result is yet to be released. You're all celebrating. You have told your relatives, you have told your tuition class that you've done well, and you're just trying to get through this phase of waiting to the results to celebrate on the result day. Ding tong, the results are here, they are out. You open the report card, your marks are exactly as you calculated, but your rank has been inflated to 10 times. Where you were supposed to be rank 500, you are now rank 5000, and that changes the entire story. Now imagine a different perspective, a doctor who has been working day and night for a particular exam. On the side, he has been taking patients and he has been seeing them and he's been treating them. This is also working hard to support his family. That doctor is literally crushing every hour of every day to get to that one exam, because he knows that once he cracks that exam, he'll get into his dream PG seat. He checks his phone 10 at the night just before setting up his alarm, and he notices that there is a message, there is a WhatsApp forward to him saying that the exam that was supposed to be held tomorrow is postponed to an unknown date. Imagine what kind of a shock it must be. I'm that doctor and this is my story. And today I want to share with you my honest thoughts about the education system in India. 24 hours were left for the NEET PG examination. I was studying since the morning till the night. Each minute of my day was accounted for and I knew exactly what I wanted to do that day. Every hour felt like a minute. It was just passing by really fast. When the time hit 6, the anxiety was actually starting to grow on me. I knew that the next day would be the day where I decide what my future looks like. I decide what branch will I get in the future and what kind of a doctor do I actually want to become. The next day was supposed to be one of the most important days of my life. Out of 24 hours, I studied for roughly 16 hours. I took a break for half an hour just to have my lunch and dinner. Finally at 10 PM when I decided, okay, this is the time to stop studying and sleep because tomorrow is the exam of my life. At night before going to bed, I wanted to set an alarm, so I opened up my phone at around 10 and that's when I got the news that the exam that I was preparing for the past 6 months, for the past year, an exam for which I had sacrificed almost everything, sacrificed making videos for you guys, sacrificed going out, sacrificed everything, has been postponed once again. This was the third time the exam was rescheduled. And this was so severe because only 10 hours were left for the paper. All the official websites had crashed and I was in denial phase. I did not want to accept it. I was still wanted to keep on studying and wake up, go to the center and just fight with them and give the paper nonetheless. That is because that is what my mind had planned beforehand. Somehow I fell asleep. In the morning I woke up at 5 only to realize that there is an official notice present on the NB website which says that yes, exam actually has been postponed. Now I'm just one of the students. This was incredibly disheartening and it was a situation that actually made me angry. Apparently the sanctity of the examination has been compromised, so that's why they had postponed it. What does this even mean? Was the paper leaked? Was the paper sold? And if yes, then why am I the one who has to suffer for this? Why can't there be infrastructure which makes sure that such instances do not occur? All of this in my mind has made medical education specifically in India a big huge joke. Like it's literally a joke. Not just for NEET PG but also for NEET UG. I was all India rank 885 in that examination, and I'll tell you just a few instances of how much we actually have to study to get through that examination. You have to give up on all your hobbies. If you're interested in playing sports, give that up. If you're interested in hanging out with your friends, you give that up. Movies dekhni hai, you cannot watch movies. All you have to do 24/7 is to focus on one goal. Especially it takes roughly 1 or 2 years to get close to your goal. You are not even going to achieve it in the end, but it just takes you that much time to get close. It takes you roughly 10 hours, 12 hours, even 15 hours of study every day for at least 3 to 4 months to crack exam which has such huge competition. And that's not just the case with me, that's the case with lakhs of students who prepare for the exam seriously. When you are doing so much and you are sacrificing your sleep, your mental health, your physical health, your dreams and your aspirations for this one exam, you just expect from the government, from the people in charge to take that exam seriously like you did. Because you were trusting them for your future and they are just playing with your future by just playing with the exams. When the NEET UG controversy first came up, I was very surprised. Because at that time I was deep in my preparation, so I did not make any videos about it. Literally मेरे पास खाने पीने का time नहीं रहता था, तो video बनाने की बात तो बहुत दूर की है. So I apologize to all my NEET UG subscribers who expected a video from me but I wasn't able to deliver. It was a fault from my side that I was extremely busy. But I wanted to speak the points which I'm about to say with you since that time. First of those thoughts is that I personally believe this year's NEET UG examination was a complete utter grand failure. I've said it once and I'll say it again that the purpose of the NEET UG exam is not at all to select. It is an examination not built for selection. It is an examination which utterly is built just for one thing, is to eliminate the students who have not prepared well. It has a very high elimination rate. It has got a very, very low selection rate. So it's an elimination exam. That means you have to set the paper such that it will be able to eliminate people and not select people. We have seen that each passing year the paper is getting easier and easier. The cutoffs are increasing every single year, to the point where today it has reached that even if you score a perfect 720 by 720, which was unheard of 5 years back, you might still not make it into the topmost colleges of the country. And that is the most disheartening thing, that the one thing the examination was supposed to, that was to eliminate students, it was utterly failed in doing that itself. It's not like NEET UG is the only competitive examination which occurs in this country. There are several hundreds of other exams, but we have seen that NEET UG cutoffs are rising like crazy. That only indicates that first of all, the exam papers which you are setting are not that difficult. So I just say that increase the difficulty of the paper so that most of the people are eliminated, and only the people who have actually deserved, only the people who have the right and the capability to crack that exam actually go through. If you look at the JEE advanced paper, it has not gotten easier at all since the past 5 years, since the past 10 years. It has stayed the same. थोड़े बहुत increase and decrease चलते हैं, but every year a predictable increase of 20 to 30 marks for the competition is crazy. I mean, just think about it, man. I entered my GMC Nagpur college at a score of 613, and I was the first person to get admission at an all India rank 885 in my college. And today, if you get 690, it is very difficult for you to get admission. So 613 पे जब मैं first इंसान जा रहा हूँ 2018 में versus 690 में, where I can't even guarantee that you might get the college. How crazy is that sounding to you? Isn't that a failure of the entire exam itself? For me personally, it is. And what this year actually surprised me was that NTA did not tell you that they were going to give grace marks at all. They just put it out, and when the story of 719, 718 was out, only then they had some clarification. That was such a vague clarification, it provided no solutions at all. And they repeatedly came and claimed that they were a very transparent organization, which obviously was a very opaque thing to say, because that was a blatant lie. On every single level of our government, every single institute to go to, corruption exists. And I think that is a core integral part of what we Indians actually exist as. Corruption is going to take place. The people who have money are going to be one step ahead of you just because corruption exists. And I don't think there is any way you can make corruption go away. जहाँ पैसा होता है वहाँ पे काम चलना ही चलना है. So I now question, was it the only instance where grace marks were actually provided? Where there have been previous papers where some transactions had taken places? What about some previous years where people might have paid money and you might have actually added them grace marks? What about the years before this one? Have you given grace marks before that as well? And if no, then how do I believe you? Because you did not even clarify that you were giving any sort of marks before we even questioned you. And I want to talk to the parents of the people who are spending lakhs of rupees to buying the paper, to getting into this corruption just so that their kid could become a doctor. So I want to ask, what kind of a doctor will your kid become? Do you think he will be capable enough to digest the complicated medical textbooks or to pass the medical exams without having the additional source of help from their parents? I personally think they will suck at it, because I have been through MBBS. It's such a difficult course. Even if you're good in NEET, I cannot even guarantee that you will pass in your MBBS years. It has happened that every medical college you see, there are a lot of students who fail, and those are actually NEET toppers who are failing. So the people who are buying the papers, what kind of doctors are you going to become? तुम हर समय सेमेस्टर के एग्जाम में भी फेल होगे, वहाँ पे भी तुम पैसे खिलाओगे, because corruption exists everywhere. It exists, and only then will you be passed. And it will continue to go on, and one day you will, with your weird knowledge and zero experience of the real world, you will probably take a life, and probably then also when you are arrested, you will give some money to get out of the jail system, because corruption is so widespread, you cannot eliminate it at all. So I just want to ask the parents of the students who are, just buying the papers, what do you expect your children to become? The best doctors of the country? No. So it's the failure of the parents. बच्चों के पास तो 30-40 लाख बहुत रेयरली मिलेंगे. मतलब मैं खुद 30-40 लाख नहीं कमा पाऊंगा अगर मैं चाहूँ भी तो. So it's absolutely the failure of the parents and the zero moral values that they've got. On the day this grace marks and all the things were first released, all the different influencers, all the different YouTubers and content creators that I know of started getting messages from social media manager companies asking them to put out videos in benefit for NEET. Not promoting any organization, not doing anything, no brand promotion, just a dedicated video. In the social media world, a dedicated video is where you buy the entire video. Okay, that means, for example, me, I have never done a dedicated video myself, but I assume that you have to talk the entire video of one particular product. For example, this remote, this is a camera remote that I use. So I'll make a 15-minute video just describing what this camera remote does. Okay, and that is a dedicated video. It costs quite a lot. Just to give you an example how much a dedicated video costs, if you have around, I would say, 5 lakh followers, a dedicated video of 15 minutes, you can charge up to 2 to 3 lakhs. That is the bare minimum I'm talking about. Upwards, it can go north of 15 lakh, 20 lakh for just one video. Okay, so I personally have never done it. I've never seen that kind of money in my life. But let me tell you something more. All of us, at least 15 to 20 of us, got the same message from different social media companies that we just want to have a dedicated video for you, and what are your charges for it. And the only thing that we want you to do is speak positively about the NEET exam. We don't want you to promote anything. We don't want you to say any names. Just say positive things about the NEET exam. So I was shocked that why are you paying me to do something which I love doing anyways. I love making videos, and you don't have a product. तुम्हारे पास remote ही नहीं है. So why are you paying me money in front to just talk positive things about the exam? And the answers which I got were absolutely vague. They were clear-cut, told them no. In fact, almost everyone said no. Following this, what also happened was that to all the content creators and influencers who were criticizing the NTA and talking freely, they all started getting notices in their particular medical colleges from anonymous people, from anonymous user IDs, directly to their dean's office, that this particular person is trying to create chaos, so please stop him. I think it was Raj who first got the notice, and following it, Parth also got it, and so many other people got it too. Thankfully, I have passed out from my college, so that all does not apply to me. Look at the level of corruption. You are leaking the paper, you are not plugging the leaks, you are improperly clarifying, then you are trying to create a positive brand awareness by spending lakhs of rupees and trying to look so transparent, but honestly you know that you are opaque. Saying this might actually get me under danger. अब कल पता नहीं मेरे घर पे ना नोटिस आ जाए, अगर आएगा तो देख लेंगे. we'll take them to the Supreme Court. As a citizen of India, भले ही government कोई भी हो, भले ही कोई भी testing agency हो, what I believe is the justice system of India. That is the only thing which I currently believe in. I think everybody else is corrupt, but that's my take on it. I also wanted to empathize on the fact that life is so much more than exams. Don't you think? Life में सिर्फ तुम एग्जाम देने के लिए आए हो क्या? नहीं. You have to work, you have to provide for your family, you have to take care of your mother, you have to take care of your father or your wife or your sister or your husband, whatever. You have to work and you have to do more than just give your exams. And whenever you are preparing for an exam, everything else is hampered. I'll tell you, the people that are preparing for NEET PG examinations, some of them have started their own practice. Some of my own friends actually have started their own practice. Some of them have moved out. Some of them are working as medical officers. Some of them are working as JRs. And honestly, working plus studying does not go hand in hand, and the last thing you want is improper misconduct during the exams. Recently a video went viral on social media. It states that a girl was supposed to give, I think, the UPSC exam, was just a bit late to the exam center. The exam was supposed to start at 9:30. She was there at 9, and nobody at all gave her the entry, which was very surprising. I think her mother collapsed right there. She might have had a sunstroke or dehydration, or she might be just praying by laying down on the ground to let her daughter go in, because for the past 1 year she has been working hard for that exam, and they did not open the gate, they did not let her inside at all. The thing is, if you are late for the exam by just 1 minute, they have the entire power, they have the entire authority to kick you out. And there goes your 6 months, your 1 year, your 2 years of your hard work. But they can cancel the exam 10 hours before the exam is supposed to take place. What is this? I am surprised. Isn't this a joke? Like, this is exactly what a joke feels like. You are expecting something, kuch aur milta hai. That's when you laugh. So this is exactly a joke to me. Anyways, I did not want to just rant. I actually want to provide some solutions as well. Of course, this is a complicated topic and I'm just a normal human, and I can only provide you solutions which I feel are beneficial to most of them. So the solution number 1, the most important thing is expect disappointment. Expect disappointment from every government institute, every government official, because only then when they do something will you feel happy. If you expect a normal level of basal level of consciousness, a normal human activity जो normally करनी चाहिए तुमने और मैंने, if you expect that, that is never going to happen. So expect disappointment, and that way you will never hurt yourself. That way you will not have your plans ruined. That way कुछ नहीं होगा. Just I'll give you a practical example of it. For example, if you have NEET UG paper this year, just expect कि paper has already been leaked. It has already received by many people. They have already read it. Fake toppers have already paid money. There are several crores of electoral bonds which have already been paid to the government. So that way when the news actually hits you, तुमको कुछ नहीं लगेगा. You will be like, ये तो मुझे पता था, ये होने ही वाला है. If you have an exam tomorrow, expect कि मेरी एग्जाम कल की पोस्टपोन हो जाएगी, कैंसिल हो जाएगी. तुम अपना पढ़ो, बट यू एक्सपेक्ट कि यार ये तो ऑब्वियसली दिस इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट थिंग टू टेक अ 3-hour एग्जाम ना. इट इज सो डिफिकल्ट टू टेक अ 3-hour एग्जाम. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू गेट कैंसल्ड. माई स्कोर इज गोइंग टू बी जस्ट disbarred, and some people who have given money will of course get their scores anyways. So expect disappointment. This is the first thing that all of you guys will do. Stay positive in your mind, study and give your best, but don't expect anything from anybody else. Expect it from yourself. Expect it that I want to score well, I want to give my best, I want to do my best, but don't expect it from the agencies who are taking these exams. Secondly, for the small percentage of people who are actually watching, who can actually make a change in this country, make the exams very difficult. Make the NEET PG hard, make the NEET UG hard, make every exam that you got so difficult that it does its one job well, that is, it eliminates people. सिलेक्ट करने की बात ही नहीं है दोस्त, एलिमिनेट करना है हमको. 99% को हमको एलिमिनेट करना है. तो यू मेक द एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट, यू डिक्रीज द कट ऑफ, टेक एन एग्जाम विच हैज़ द कट ऑफ 520. दैट वुड बी समथिंग, अ ड्रीम ऑफ माइंड दैट वुड कम ट्रू. इट वुड बी अ डिफिकल्ट एग्जाम फॉर श्योर, बट दोज हु हैव स्टडीड, दोज हु एक्चुअली possess the power, those who actually deserve the seat will actually crack it and get it. So that is something which I think should be implemented. The easier part कि easy questions पूछेंगे, ऐसे पूछेंगे, that should be totally gone away. You know what it will do? It will force your students to study well. It will force your students to give their 100% best, because they know that they have to use their rational mind, not something which they have just mugged up and कल सुबह जाके regurgitate करना है. Never in their life to use that information again. So make it difficult, have logical thinking as a part of it, and have problem solving as a part of it, and not just regurgitation and only regurgitation. Even when the exam is difficult, rank list will be prepared, and of course the top 1% will still get selected. भले ही इस टाइम वो 720 से नहीं, वो 520 से चालू होगा. 520 पे ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1 रहेगा, एंड तुम्हारा कट ऑफ रहेगा 450, 430, 420. That's it. Do that. It will be the best way to eliminate people. Again, I tell you, this is an exam which has to eliminate. So what are my concluding thoughts? My concluding thoughts is that, my friends, this has not happened for the first time. It has happened several times before, and I bet you, if you look at the records, it has happened every year. But you and I just don't get to hear about it. Everything is suppressed because I told you, at every level, there are people who are willing to do anything for money. And I think that's the truest situation, because the institution is as good as the people who are working in the institution. भले मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ, but मेरे अंडर जो 10 employees है, अगर उनमें से एक भी खराब है, I cannot be trusted. So it's not my fault. It's not the fault of anybody. It's just human nature. So quit worrying and build yourself up. Quit worrying and start studying for your exams, and expect disappointment. Because, my friends, as an Indian, it just pains my heart. I love my country like anything. I have just rejected the option of going to US or going to London or any place. I've just rejected it because I love my country so much. I love the people of this country. I love how they behave. I love the local community of this country and how it is so beautiful at every level. But क्या करें यार, it just pains me to say this, but the education system in our country is a traumatizing joke. It's a joke for lakhs of students, and absolutely we cannot do anything. That's just my perspective. I'm a student, you're a student, and probably every person who's watching this is a student. And I just wanted to convey the thoughts of one student to another student. Lastly, my friends, I would request you to share this video as much as possible. Let my voice reach the people in charge. Share it to your friends, to your family, the officials that you know, the officials that you don't know, because this is one of the videos of mine which I feel is particularly important. Please make sure to subscribe the channel, as your support is what actually keeps me going. Anyways, it's your boy Dr. Anuj Pachhel, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.